lead in, maybe Michelle gave you guys the context, but Robert is working on a deal that kind of had an emergency come up. So he thinks he's going to try to pop in and join, but this won't be a full workshop day to continue what he's teaching with the mail merge for the 10 listing challenge. He said he's going to do the mail merge on Monday. So that gives you a week extension on your homework. You have till Monday now. I know last week he spoke about making sure everyone pulled at least the FSBOs and expires, and then also wants you guys to be thinking about different niches, right? Which you guys can self-select your niche. We know that FSBOs and expires are the cream of the crop of every real estate agent should be farming and looking to market to those types of seller leads. Getting prepared to reach out to 25. So figure out a little gift bag idea for you to do your door knocking. Some people call it pop-bys, right? Door knocking doesn't always mean that you knock on the door and end up having the door open and having to have a conversation. For the most part, I'd say 9 times out of 10, you're not going to get an answer, especially if you're doing it while people might be at work. But you do want to be able to leave something behind in those circumstances. That will prompt someone to remember you, think of you, call you back right then and there, or when they need you down the road. So I think the best checklist for homework would be, we're in October, right? We're approaching, it's Q4, it's the fall, the holiday season's approaching. What ideas are there for pop-bys that fit this time of year, this season? And maybe we could brainstorm that as a group to come up with the ideas. That way your homework's easy. You're not going to get stuck in the brainstorm. You already have an idea. Now you just got to go get the stuff, put it in a nice little baggie, and then pick your 25 houses.
Okay.
So has anyone done seasonal themed pop-bys?
No.
I haven't done
Jose.
any, but I know what some things to put in those bags for this time of year might be those dollar store. I could get a mug and some hot cocoa packets. And you get a package and put 1 or 2 envelopes in there and 1 or 2 mugs. And some nice fall themed pumpkin or apple ciders or whatever.
Not for nothing, but this is the time of year, like we have Publix down here in Florida. And I know for Publix, they're doing their BOGO sales for Ghirardelli's hot chocolate packets. So this is a good time of year to check your Costco, your BJ, Sam's Club, because the sales on those fall-oriented goodies and treats are happening right now. Another idea is daylight savings, fall back, is November 2nd this year. Great reminder, right? Great thing to go and leave something, even sending out on a postcard maybe to remind somebody. But what's the extra benefit of reminding potential sellers about daylight savings?
Okay, on the first one, I was thinking, don't fall back in time, but don't fall behind in savings and whatnot for your selling your home. Yeah.
So
Don't
use the play on
you know.
use the play on savings and work in your USP. So I'm reaching out for the sake of, hey, daylight savings is around the corner. Don't forget to set your calendars, roll your clock back, be ready for it, whatever your little 1 sentence about the actual November 2nd thing is going to be. And segue into your USP of how you can save. So you guys already know, I think ad nauseum, about how you guys can save sellers. This is where you'd say something like, my sellers never pay a commission. You throw that big 0% out there. So November 2nd, is anyone on here in a state that doesn't do daylight savings? Because unfortunately, you'll be excluded from that. Yeah,
it's Arizona, right?
I think is it just Arizona?
And I think Illinois or one of the states up there.
Hawaii doesn't change either.
Yeah, somebody in the Northeast, I think, half of a state or something weird.
Right.
As soon as Washington, D.C. gets their act together, Washington State will no longer rotate.
Yeah,
I
so
think everybody should
unfortunately
just
you're boxed
do
out,
that.
but what can we do? A substitute on that is everybody does their holiday shopping. I'd argue holiday shopping is starting in October now, right? So if you want to do some type of seasonal, the idea of seasonal savings in general isn't something that's unheard of for people. So I'm already getting Amazon advertising. I got the catalog in the mail. I don't have kids, but I'm getting those toy catalogs that you're supposed to give kids, and they circle what they want. So it is really that holiday shopping season, and all the companies are already advertising savings. So again, that's another, you could theme your USP, match your real estate savings into some type of seasonal gifting. As far as cheap stuff, I love Dollar Tree for cheap little things. and you don't really need the time. You don't need to plan like 2 weeks in advance to order something. If you have a Dollar Tree near you, you can just go in person and get the items. But just getting like, I think Brett showed, he did the little teeny gift bags with the kind of like paper handles. He puts some tissue paper in there, and then he puts whatever his themed goodies are going to be. And the idea, I would not want to spend more than $5 per bag personally, but you always want to put something in there that's going to be memorable. And that's why I like the idea of, in the summer and the spring, you give plants, because now your plant, you put a little seed in, you grow your green onion, and they sit it on their windowsill, and now they're thinking, oh, I got that from that real estate agent. People like magnets, which take some time to order, because you put the magnet on the fridge and it's got like the best air fryer recipe, and they like the air fryer recipe, so they save the magnet, and your face is right there in the corner. Things like that. If you have some time to prep, find a fall recipe that somebody would want to save, make it a magnet. Things you could get at a Dollar Tree for, I'm actually going to put Michelle on in the hot seat here. So if you had $5 to spend at a Dollar Tree, or like the Walmart party favor section, what's a useful object that you'd want to hold on to? At least keep in your junk drawer.
I'd say I like mugs, or I'm a big crafter. Tape measures always are good things. I mean, let's see if I can pull it out, but just little portable tape measures.
All right, now
Especially
how could you work a tape measure into a USP and give a bag to a potential homeowner, a potential seller?
Help me. I can help you measure your savings.
That's good.
And imagine a little printed business card with a QR code that links to, you throw the seller net calculator on the landing page on your website. And I know landing pages sound taxing, but if you guys already have a website, if you're going to have a seller net calculator on there, all you got to do is create a new page. You don't need to make it all that pretty. Just take the embed code for the seller net calculator and plop it in there. Let the calculator live on its own page. If they want to navigate, they can use your header menu. Maybe you could put a short call to action with your contact information reiterated right below the calculator. It's really something, as long as you have access to your website, or can contact, if you're using a web administrator to help you make changes to your website, you can shoot them an email. They could do it in a couple of minutes. Just say, hey, here's the seller net calculator embed code, and I want to put this block of text with my phone number and a call me button right below it if they want to get a home evaluation on their actual property address. Or a link, if you already have a home evaluation page, put that underneath the seller net calculator and let them go right there. I think that's great, Michelle.
Yeah, cut through the red tape, or cut through whatever the problems are, the current problems, cut through this buyer's market.
Yeah, so there's a lot. So, I mean, really anything, if you're short on ideas, if you can think of a cheap object to get that you could fit in a bag and think it's appropriate to leave at a door, if you hit a block there, that's where you could use something like ChatGPT. I don't think that ChatGPT is a replacement for you guys. I don't think AI replaces the value of a real estate agent, but I think it's great for writer's block and idea block. I think it's a very valuable tool to say, give me, knowing that I want to let sellers know I do blank, blank, blank. Give me 5 witty sentences, one-liners that relate to this object that I'm going to leave them as a lead magnet. And then just use those ideas to get you going for your pitches. And then in the chat, I see Katie says, who is our landing page person? So I do think Zishan's what Zishan wants to do is create template landing pages that you'd basically be able to take all of the copy and add to your own website. I think it would be a separate package. You'd be licensing copy that we created for you, and you'd plug and play the template right into your own WordPress or Wix. A different package, and it would cost a little more because we'd have to incorporate any hosting costs, would be if you want a landing page that's more like a funnel, where there's a distinct domain name. It's not part of your website where it would exist. It would need its own server and hosting. We'd have to work that package in to make sure we're covering our monthly expenses to host that for you. So that would be a little bit more of a price point, but that'd be the type of thing. You land them on a page and they should be able to do everything right then and there if they're ready to take action right now. But Zishan is capable of doing that. I don't think they've solidified the productization on how they want to do that. But if you guys already have your own web pages. I'm telling you, don't overcomplicate this. Go to, I mean, I can show you what it looks like on our back end. Is anyone on this call, do you know what your website platform uses? Do you know if it's something like WordPress? Do you know if it's Wix?
Well, my domains are hosted by Squarespace,
Squarespace?
and yeah, and then I don't know how to transfer them over to WordPress. Apparently, that's better for a lot of CRMs. There's a native integration, so it'd be better if it were WordPress. It's
Well, if
possible.
it makes you feel better, one integration issue with WordPress does a lot of updates, and then those integrations don't update quite as fast. So there are pros and
Oh,
cons
man.
there. If you stick with Squarespace, you should still have a simple create a page option. And with Squarespace, it's more native as a block builder. And what for everyone else, what I mean when I say a block builder is Squarespace is going to give you here's a title section, here's a product section, and you kind of just map, drag and drop what you want to put in there, and then you type your own copy and add your pictures. WordPress, you have to install a theme that will allow you to do a block builder. Otherwise, it's really a pretty simple type your text or you go to a visual coder thing. But once you do make the switch, let's see, let me get signed into our admin thing. Does anybody else use Squarespace? So just Katie, because I think Wix and Squarespace can be pretty similar on their drag and drop builder. So if you're using Wix, I'd say what I just said to Katie applies. And if you do want to migrate, that should really just be, do you know who does your server hosting? Or do you have someone doing that for you?
You mean like for my brokerage and Kai Real Estate? Well, for my brokerage, they probably have Luxury Prospect. Lofty then has individual landing pages for agents. So
And would
I
Lofty
think,
be, so you'd be picking a custom URL when you're ready to go?
yeah, I mean, I already have my name as the domain, but it's hosted by Squarespace. And then the brokerage has a site that's, I believe, hosted by WordPress, but in this company Luxury Prospect. Let me double check that real quick.
All right, I'm also going to drop while you're looking at that just to see. You guys know about our seller net calculator page on our Agent Hub side. The Agent Hub page, you don't want to send the consumer to our Agent Hub resource page for you guys, because that's all the explainers is, here's how you can use this to sell sellers. That's not really designed for consumers to see, it's for you guys. But if you make it over here, you'll see an example of what the calculator looks like embedded, and you can also test it out right here. And then you'll see the choices. You can share this
You wanna
calculator from
share
our
your
platform
screen?
website. Oh, sorry.
Thanks, Frank.
Sure.
There we go. You see it now?
Yes.
Yes.
Cool. Sorry, guys. So obviously you can come and test it out yourself here. You wouldn't want to send the consumer to the Agent Hub. If you just want to give them a quick link where we're hosting the calculator, you can link them here. And again, we always try to probe, how did you get to us? How'd you hear about us? But if you want to keep it on your website, you can use this get HTML code. And with this HTML code, it should copy paste right to your clipboard. So you click copy calculator code. And then let's see. And since I'm already in WordPress, if you guys had your WordPress, you'd go to your dashboard, whatever function on your website lets you add a new page. For WordPress, you got to use the little admin bar at the top. And then you'd want to go to, I would recommend a page for this. If you want to make a blog post around it, you can. It essentially will look the same to the user. There's a slight difference between pages and posts as far as how Google wants to crawl things like that. But you'd want to click this add page. And of course, there's a million things you could do to make a fancy, amazing page with a million sections. But ultimately, that will cause you to get stuck in your own paralysis. It'll keep you from shipping it and getting it done. And honestly, putting too much in one place could overwhelm the seller. So without going into, we use Elementor as our theme on our Agent Hub. This is what WordPress would look like if you just need to add a simple basic block. This is how WordPress lets you add blocks natively. I haven't done it without the Elementor in a while. Usually there's a text versus a code version. So we're going to go right into the Elementor, and almost every website I've ever worked with or created myself, I use a theme and I do not use WordPress's native builder because it doesn't give you much functionality. And then here we'll add a text editor, and it's so tiny. But over here, you see where it lets you go between visual and code. Visual lets you type something, and whatever you type here will be how it displays. So if I were to put code right in the text, it's going to display it as the code. And we don't want that. If we go to code, we can copy and paste the code, and you see how now it shows us what the code wants to translate to. So your goal would be to find whatever builder you're using. You want to find this way to add an HTML block, is something that some themes will call their block HTML. You just drop and paste the code there. For something like Elementor, you'll want to go to a text box and then choose manual code, plop it in. And then once you get to the preview side, this is what a user would see as well. And then you could add another box here to say, you know, want to see what your home is worth, and then make your pitch for the USP, put your button to your home evaluation page, or maybe a call me now button. Joy, I don't know if Joy's on the call with us today, but Joy loves to use the language to make it seem like it's exclusive, right? We only offer this listing option to certain situations, certain sellers. See if you qualify. And it makes it seem like get in now. Because if you don't find out how to do this, we're going to be booked full. We're not going to be able to sell your home for 0% commission because we've already filled up our calendar, our capacity for the next few months out. So don't miss this opportunity. That's one
The
style.
idea of taking it away from the sellers.
Yeah, like don't miss out. Do it now. You got to put your thinking caps on. Think of how you see other advertisements and think of what makes you stop and click and feel compelled to do something, and just mimic those things. If anybody isn't using WordPress, where they could go to find this code and visual block, if you want to go to the Facebook group and say like, look, I'm in my back end, I created a new page and this is what it looks like. Try to get this top part of your screen in the screenshot, and that'll help me figure out what theme you're using, what platform you're using, and I can find the 1, 2, 3, 4 steps for you to add a block with this custom seller net calculator code. I think that's the best way to do it, because you guys could, seriously, everybody might be using something different. But once I get to see it with my own eyes, I can usually figure out where we got to go.
Hey, Kat, for those of us that don't have a website yet, do you have a suggestion about what would be the best one to start with?
For if you don't have one at all?
Correct.
So what do you want to accomplish with it?
Okay. I don't know yet. Get more business.
Well, so a website can be a big, crazy, hairy monster project.
That's why
Right?
I'm asking you for help.
So my advice is always going to be to keep it simple. Even with these calls, you know, oh, we have these resources, we have them everywhere. I try to make it easy to find the ones that people look for, ask for, or I think need the most based on questions that I hear from you guys. But there's a deep web that if we tried to put on our homepage a link to everything we've ever done, it would no longer make any sense. And that's going to be true. I'm not an agent saying that. We're building a resource for you guys. But as an agent, if you put yourself in the driver's seat for the seller that would be trying to go to your website and find what they need, and presumably a lot of you guys are willing to work with buyers as well. How many of you only work listing side and wouldn't take buyer clients? So yeah, so Ace is saying he's doing sell side only, and that's okay. What I was going to say is you wouldn't want your website header menu. Ace might have his header menu say like home, contact, the things that should always be in a header. And then something like probate or selling, because I know you specialize in certain things. You might want to use your header space to call out to your pathways for helping someone sell. Whereas with Mike, maybe you want to do, you know, a buyer pathway, a seller pathway, because you never know who's going to land on your homepage. If you work with buyers, you really want to think of your website in terms of, I need a button for buyers to click. I need a button for sellers to click, because those are going to be the main traffic I want coming to my website. And then once you get on those pages, you'd say, all right, now that we're working on sellers, what do we want sellers to know about me and how I can help them list? I love the offer accepted in half the time as a homepage option, because that's a good option for both buyers and sellers, right? That's something that either side of a transaction can be excited about.
Mm-hmm.
A buyer might not love seeing on your homepage that your sellers pay 0% commission, right? You might want to keep that to your seller page. And then on your buyer page, I'd be like, what if we could help you? What if we had ways to help you lower your monthly payment and give you more flexibility in writing a stronger offer? So you really got to think about what's the first message that you'd want anybody to see if they land on your homepage. If someone self-selects that they're going to navigate to something catered to selling, what's the first thing you'd want someone interested in selling to see? And then likewise with buyer, what's the first thing you'd want someone interested in buying to see? And you could put all the other nuances and little bullet points further down the page, but you always want your first section and any major text or colorful images to speak the points that you want to hammer home. Your website can develop, you can add depth by making blog posts or linking and linking and linking and linking. I know we've probably all been on a website where we kept linking, clicking links and reading, and 30 minutes later, we're still exploring some website that's about some topic we're looking at. You can build your website in a way that your navigation is simple, but people are clicking maybe on your seller page, the option of listing for 0%. And then they click that and it takes them to the seller calculator. They get their information and they're like, well, this is cool, but do I still get professional service? And maybe you have a link right under your calendar that says, plus all of this and professional service for 0%. Now they click that and they're on a blog post or page that's dedicated to the professional service offerings, bullet pointed that you offer them. And then maybe you have something clicked there like, hey, we can even help you fix up your home before you sell to get top dollar. And then that page links them to something that would talk about novation options and how we can help with what Easy's doing with you guys. And you really want to make sure you can add all of those links as you go and create your core pages with the messaging. And if you do it that way, it'll help you be productive. It'll help you actually get your website done. Because if you try to do the whole thing at once, you'll never actually feel satisfied with it. You'll never publish it, or you'll end up just saying scrap it all together. We're not even going to try anymore. So I think the best way to approach a website if you don't have one, and again, if you want to put your own listings on it, you will want to look for an IDX integration that works with your MLS, right? And that's something I can't give specific advice on because I know there's IDX apps that will pull from most MLSs, but there's always some MLSs that don't play nice with certain, like the Carrot websites for agents. There's a select few MLSs around the country that just don't play nice and don't allow syndication through IDX plugins for different website builders. So unfortunately, that's a battle that you might have to go through if you want to be able to syndicate your active listings or just a showcase of active listings in the area on your website, where you will have to do your own shopping around or ask a peer. I would say ask a colleague that already has an IDX feed on their website in your market, what platform they're using, or look at the bottom of the website. A lot of the times agents won't remove the part that says this is powered by Carrot or this is powered by whatever IDX. So if you go and see a peer's website in your area, you like the way that they pull in listing feeds from the local MLS that you use, go see if they leave it in the bottom who their platform's powered by, and then go start that up on your own.
Hey, Michael, a cheap, easy service I use called RealBird.com, and they have unlimited QR codes, unlimited single property websites, SMS text code, autoresponders. It's $99 a year.
Okay, and that was RealBird, REAL.
RealBird.com. They've been around a long time. Like I said, just if you use it just for QR codes, $99 a year, but they got text code, autoresponders, and you can do unlimited like property websites, build your own landing pages.
All right. Hey, Brett, spell that for me because I'm not good with that.
Real, like real estate, bird, BIRD.com, RealBird.
Cool.
And
Thanks
if they're
very much.
And if it's a little more, the guy, if it's like they always have specials, and if it's like a 129, just email the guy and he'll respond back to you and give you the $99 a year deal.
That's just what it is right
You
now.
told him to do that.
I'm looking at the site right now, and it is $99 for the first year.
Okay. Awesome.
And then every year he goes to renew it, he charges you more, and then I say I'm going to cancel, and he goes, okay, I'll give it to you for 99.
Okay. All right. So I get to put a website together. Thank you very much, guys. Appreciate the help.
And I'm also seeing, and I think when I was going to share the calendar, it cleared that there was a new message in the chat. So now that I'm looking back over, I'm seeing that you asked about Go High Level. With Go High Level and anything similar to Go High Level, they do give you the option. It's actually what they pitch as one of their strong points. You can go and create a landing page or a funnel through Go High Level, and you should be purchasing the domain name. And Go High Level will actually do the hosting for the landing page, but they'll want you to plug your domain name in. That way it doesn't just say something like random letter dot go high level dot random letter, and a bunch of numbers. So if any of you guys are using something like that and only want a landing page, something simple, Go High Level can accomplish that. Different purpose than having a dedicated website that's like MikeNikolai.com. So but those are pretty easy, and those are block builders too. They'll give you template pages where here's where someone lands. They'll help you build the form for it. And then you can fill out what do you want to happen when they submit the form. And it could just be a thank you message on that same landing page, or you can direct them to a dedicated thank you page or another page entirely. Even if that page isn't part of that URL that you're using for a landing page on Go High Level, you could at that point direct them to your regular main website after you've grabbed their information. And that's a great strategy because with the landing page, typically there's no header menu, there's no other navigation for people to go and poke around and get distracted. They're stuck on this page, and that can have its downsides too, right? If they're too nervous and want the option to go and explore and learn about you, they might not want to submit their information. They might back out and click the X button, and then you'll lose them. But if you have this, don't miss out on this opportunity. I only do this listing option for a few sellers every month. I'm looking for one or two more. Now they're like, well, let me at least fill it out and see, right? But a major difference between landing pages detached from your website are that people can't go and click about or look at, you've got to make sure your credibility is included on that landing page. So sprinkle some reviews at the bottom of the page, sprinkle some trust logos, been in the business for X amount of years. We pride about providing service to our clients. You want to put all of those things at the bottom so people know that you're legitimate. So this type of thing, as soon as you start going to implement it, I feel like that's when the questions come up, right? This is like note taking. This is all right. I'm getting the concept of it. But as it goes into practice, again, and I don't know, I know some people don't use Facebook, but pretty much, does everybody here have Facebook and they're in our Facebook group? Just take a quick screenshot and plop it in there. And you could tag me. So if you tag me, rather than waiting for a notification to come through to recommend that you've posted something in the group, if you tag me, I'll get the direct notification guaranteed that you've shared something in the Facebook group. Like, look, I'm stuck here. I'm at this point. What do I do? Or, should I do this as a landing page or should I put it on my existing website? And just throw it in the Facebook group. And as you're going, as you hit a roadblock, that's the best way for us to go through it. Okay, so it's 1:36 and I don't see, Robert said he may or may not pop on. So I don't know if he's going to pop on at this point. Does anybody have any questions that would have been pertinent for Robert's advice? I've been in the real estate world for a long time, but I'm not an agent. So, I know there's some questions that you guys might have with your day-to-day lead generation or transactions you're working on that I might not be the person for. But if you have any questions, I can help make sure that Robert and or Joy get them and we can get an answer to you promptly. So you can get back to your seller or buyer, whoever you're working with.
Hi,
Go ahead.
how you doing, Kat? This is Ken.
Hey, Kenneth.
Ken, I had emailed Michelle initially I was trying to put the video my virtual tour, but it's not happening. I didn't have the expertise, and it's still not showing on my Easy page.
Zishan, I
For a
did email those
listing?
to Zishan, and he was working on those and was going to get back them promptly.
So this is for a live, you're taking your listing live, right? You want a walkthrough video to show when someone goes to the Easy platform listing for your property, they can scroll down and see your video guide tour.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
He has,
Were you-
Kat, He had a couple
Huh?
videos that were not in, he had a couple videos he wanted to put onto his listing that were not the YouTube link format that the system requires. And so right at this
Right.
So
point in time,
where's the video hosted?
one is
Videos
Vimeo, which
hosted with the photographer's website.
So with Vimeo, let's do Vimeo first. So with Vimeo, there could be two obstacles. It could be down to the sharing and privacy settings from the link that you're providing to us to use to paste into your listing so it would show on the listing page. If the privacy isn't allowed, you have to check allow embeds for us to be able to do that. If you didn't check it, by default, Vimeo disables it. So if you don't remember intentionally enabling embeds on your Vimeo upload for that particular video tour, that's the first thing I would try to do to troubleshoot. Because the permissions have to be set on through your account on Vimeo for that particular video. I think Vimeo is a pain in the butt for that reason. The second thing, if we do that and we make sure that that's enabled and then that doesn't fix the problem, the next thing we'd want to do is check the visibility of that specific video. So that's where you want to go and make sure it's not set to private or team members that use your Vimeo. You'd want to make sure it's public, right? So we want to make sure we've enabled embeds and then also make sure the visibility of that is public.
Okay.
Do you know if you've done that yet?
No, I don't even know that I had to do that.
Pesky.
I didn't know
Yeah.
that I had to do any of what you just said.
And truth be told, you may have done those things intuitively as you were doing the upload. And if we double check and that stuff's done, and then the URL still is not working on our site, we've used Vimeo links before and they've worked. So then we'd want to look into why with a Vimeo link with embeds enabled and public visibility, it's still not showing. We'd still want to troubleshoot that on our end. So we want to make sure we get an update from you after you're able to check those two things. The easiest alternative, you guys, YouTube, and I think that comes down to YouTube. Google's behind YouTube, right? That's a huge powerhouse tech company behind YouTube. They've done a great job at being user-friendly, accessible, and not breaking things usually. So if you ever have something that you don't want to show up on your YouTube account, like if someone looks at your profile and the videos you've uploaded, you could set the visibility of a specific video on YouTube to unlisted. It won't be private and it won't be public, but unlisted means if you give us the link, we can go and take that link, put it in your listing upload, for example, and it should still display. And by default, YouTube will allow embeds of videos unless you disable it. So that's an alternative if you don't want your list guide tour to show up on your YouTube profile, which I don't see why you wouldn't for a video tour, right? You might as well put the street address in the upload of the YouTube video, make it public because you might get some channel traffic off that. But in general, if there's a reason that you want it to be unlisted where it doesn't show on your feed, you could still host the video on your YouTube, check that unlisted, and then give us the link. And I don't think we really ever run into problems when we're using YouTube links because YouTube allows embeds by default. And you'd actually have to manually disable it as the account owner. So for the streamlined process to make sure it works in the best way possible, I think YouTube is the best pathway.
I was just sent the link for the photographer company that did my virtual tour.
Okay, and they just did it on
photographers can
Vimeo.
send you them as YouTube links. I've seen photographers send YouTube links, so maybe you can check with your photographer on that.
But your photographer sends
okay.
you a Vimeo link
Yes.
rather than a file download? There's no option.
No,
Do you
he
see-
sent me a file download and a Vimeo link. He sent me.
Okay, so Vimeo is ready to share, right? Use that when you need to because you're in crunch time. But I would take that file download link, make sure you download the file, and then go to YouTube and upload it and get it there. And honestly, you might as well be getting the street address search juice because you never know. Google loves to put YouTube links in their own search results. Most people use Google search engines. There's competitor search engines, but Google's still number one. Google loves to put YouTube in their ranks because they can show ads when someone goes and clicks a YouTube link. It stays within the Google bubble. So
okay.
any opportunity you have to utilize YouTube for something, showing people that you have listings, that you have experience, showing people that want to look at that particular property, your YouTube, and now your YouTube might come back up in their feed next time they open YouTube, and your property tour might come back up on their feed because now Google's putting you back in their algorithms. There's really so much upside to taking the time to download the file and then go and upload it to your channel. And there's really no downside. I'd say the downside is trying to stick with Vimeo and then letting your photographer. I mean, you have the rights to use this video. They're sending you
yeah.
the file, so it seems like you do. So as long as there's
Hand me
no
the file, and
agreement where they retain the rights to host the
actually,
video property, I would get it on YouTube.
well, what he explained to me was the photographer took the picture, owns the publishing rights, but I've got unlimited access to using the video as the person who paid for it. Now, we're going back and forth because I should own the publishing rights if I paid you for it. But there's something in the law, he says the person who actually performs the taking of the picture is the actual owner of the picture. And he said
Yep.
that's
So
true.
typically, unless you go around that, it's going to be usually the use case would be for the duration of your listing, which is your purpose of getting the photos.
Yes.
But there'd be no harm in just saying, can I upload this to my YouTube channel for the duration of the property tours?
Okay. Okay.
So that would be your quick way to clarification.
Okay.
But yeah, and he is right. I mean, the photographer does retain the rights to the images, but your agreement should be allowing the use of those images, a license agreement for the purpose of this listing. But I would get that verbal confirmation or just ask. It seems like they've been communicating with you on those terms and don't really seem to care about them, but they know that it exists.
Okay.
Right? So get that, try to go the YouTube route for all the reasons stated earlier. And then when you have the YouTube URL, just email it to support, email it to Michelle.
Got it.
So
Got it. Okay.
if there's anything preventing you from doing that, then we need them to go and enable embeds in their Vimeo account.
Okay.
Which you don't have the capability of doing because now I learned that it's their account, not yours.
Right. Exactly. Okay. Okay. I'll get that resolved today. I definitely will get that particular thing resolved. I'll get them over to you, Michelle, in the form.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Yeah, I'll get it done. Thank you, Kat.
No problem.
Thank you.
You're
Oh,
very
no problem.
welcome.
Any other? We did some website conversations. And Robert will always mention my name when he talks about Facebook ads. My specialty, you guys, is organic marketing. So inbound and outbound. I think Robert wanted me to help you guys set up your Facebook ads. I've done it myself. I don't consider myself an expert at it. But if you're really struggling and don't know where to go in Facebook, I can get us through, like, here's how you go and set up your business account, create your ad account, how to launch an ad, the difference between your ad groups and a campaign, and setting your budget for your campaign versus what you want to be dedicated to. I can help you through all those basics. I don't have the experience of monitoring at scale and optimizing ad performance. So I'm not the expert there, unfortunately. But anything surrounding that, I've done it for years, largely in the real estate space, but if not small real estate, small businesses, local marketing.
So are you going to go over how to do that sometime? Or is that something that would get to bug you and take you away from the thousands of other things that you're doing?
Well, so I think that's where the magical marketing comes into play. And I can drop that in the chat, and anyone watching on YouTube, the upload of this episode, it'll be in the description. Nick's specialty was paid outbound, one touch, first touch, paid advertisement, and maybe some retargeting was really Nick's specialty. And that's what this magical marketing course focuses on. He goes over the top level core concepts too. So terminology and everything like that to make sure he covers the 101.
Okay, and that's actually in our training portal, correct?
Yep, it's also linked in the chat. Again, I'll put it in the show notes on the replay in case you don't grab it from the chat now. Then Robert's going to be doing the mail merge, right? And mail merge is paid advertising because you've got to pay for the postage, right? But really with the mail stuff, you're not setting up all these systems in the back end of a website and wanting to monitor your campaign spend day in and day out, watching your impressions and your click-through rates. With mail marketing, unless you're paying for certified delivery, you're kind of guessing on who actually picks up the phone and calls you. Or if you're using a landing page that you're only using for that mail campaign, you're able to track, hey, I've gotten 50 hits to this website and I sent 2,000 letters. Well, now I have some insight on at least what's on my mail material is getting those 50 people to stop and read before throwing it in the trash and take another step. Obviously, if your phone's ringing off the hook after you send out a postcard, you can probably assume your postcard's pretty effective, right? But you can't conclude just because you don't get your phone ringing right away that it's not effective, because maybe 6 months later, someone said, hey, I've had this on my fridge for 6 months and I need to sell now, right? So it's a little bit more murky with the mail marketing. You don't get all that big data. But as far as like the content of what goes on a postcard, I mean, to me, that's copywriting, that's images, that's getting stuff printed, and then the postage and choosing where you want to mail to. Either you're going to use a list or you're going to choose a farm and every door direct mail. That's really the paid part of it. But the other side of it is kind of organic messaging. So, but he's going to teach us how to do the mail merge, where instead of paying a company, which is going to charge you per piece, premium price, because they're doing the mail merge for you, he's going to teach you how to, with simple word processor like Microsoft Word, and you can do it through Google Docs. It's just the buttons look a little different. Set up your mail merge so you can take a list of addresses you want to mail to, and then to different letters, and then print your letters through your own printer. Really cheap, DIY. And again, if you have the budget, don't be afraid to use a print shop if it makes sense for your dollar productivity. If you don't have the budget, use your time, right? And that's a personal decision for everybody rather than a one size fits all. I think we are approaching the hour. Again, does anybody have any hot button questions on, I have a listing on the edge here that you want to make sure we get to Robert? Love to hear that. No fires to put out.
We can't do international, can we?
Not yet. Soon.
Awesome.
I think Robert's already working on Italy for personal purposes, because Mona, Robert's wife, wants to move to Italy, but they are looking at international.
Yeah, we're looking at Italy and Canada real soon.
Okay. Get Mexico on that list, please.
Yes. That's
I think we're going for North America in general. So
awesome.
That'll be fun. That'll be fun. All right. Again, I'll put the links. I'll make sure you guys know how to get the Seller Net Calculator link. It is on the dashboard of your Easy Agent Hub where the popular resources are, but I'll put it in the show notes. That way it's quick to get to. But I seriously urge you guys, hit a roadblock, post it in the Facebook group. Because even myself, there's things that I would not give you the best advice on the fly, on the spot, on this call, especially while you guys are not showing your screen and walking through, you know, what your WordPress or Wix or Squarespace looks like. But when you're in the moment and you run into something, that's the perfect moment to take the exact context, exactly what you're looking at or hitting the roadblock on, throw it in the Facebook group, and I'll have time to look at it, digest it, and give you a more informed answer than us trying to figure it out on the call. Like, I think it's like this, but I'm not sure what website I use. Right? It just ends up producing better advice. So please, please, please utilize that Facebook group to your heart's content. Not only could someone else in here give you advice that might be different than what me or Michelle might say to you, but somebody else might have the same question or not even know they have the same question, or that they're lacking that same piece of information. And by putting it in there, now everybody gets the opportunity to learn. So that's why I always push you guys to that Facebook.
It's an extension of this, of the Monday and Thursday classroom setting, if you will.
Yep, the 24-hour mastermind.
Exactly.
All right, you guys. Well, thank you so much for, the food for thought on some website stuff. See you on Monday for Robert's continuation. We're going to do the mail merge. And of course, we'll devote the first 15 minutes to questions that you guys have or any listing workshops, listing lab work that you need to do. And then look for this replay tomorrow. Any final closing thoughts? All righty, guys. Take care. Have a good weekend. See you Monday. Bye, guys. Thanks so much for tuning into Easy Real Estate Platform's Topic Thursdays. We hope to see you again next week, and make sure you check out our Facebook groups. The links are in the description.